JHUSU champion minority leader saying waka. But small kind of cray. On account of 1, 2, 3 provisions in the orders. I say, I saw bulldozing the way through, but just a speaker, as one Papa can you cray. They say now standing orders mean. Just none was stunned. The who dream. And to hear no. Or how many I know, say, I said, the mechanic, the end so, the point of the record office. It was a young man. Oh, yeah, lawyer. Now, so they me lawyer. And also, but you argue the case so consistently and so well, said, to us. Now, we don't want to be him. That was 1997. 1998, no, call New Zealand. And I said, I was on the call. The call, you know, we a pond conference, then you baby. I me corner them, say me go channel. What me translate? But 1.5 hours, WONTUMI for what to do in Parliament. I say, when you see me, then I make Nkansah asem na. Until no me buy. He wants to encourage me. Oh. So that was from Justice Anan. Okay. The other person, also encouraging me. Yeah. Collins Dauda.
NDC Collins Dauda.
NDC Collins Dauda. Me call Parliament in 1997. So Collins more call 1992. I remember call Parliament na minimum Collins. Samre na omo group bi wo na ye bra half region. Omo na start agitation say e twa half if you born. Okay. Ntinam half youth association. The chairman of the association was one Mr. Sebe. No a timber contractor be. And I know Afa Collins and Nakoda. And Collins was the secretary to the Half Youth Association. There's a mobile Kumasi any Ashanti Youth Association this year. Maybe it bidding common year for Pokware. I got them to know Collins very well. Now Collins will be a change secondary school. We are Form 5. I said 1 twice. We got to the Parliament. We got to the Parliament. Collins is the chairman of Lands and Forestry Committee. Now, chairman now, you know, just say, I joined a demand on Oceania. Madame Christine Amakunyama.
Oh, yeah.
Was the Minister for Lands and Forestry. Collins as the friend saying, chairman of the committee. Yeah, now your spokesperson, Jerry Koilabi. Koilabi was a lawyer, long-standing lawyer of some pedigree, but on the practice, you know, no land. In a part in the year, the chairman of Lands and Forestry Committee. Forestry issues, no, they're not on. So I filled myself in because that was a strong area for Collins, and so I was able to match Collins within a very short time. So, until I feel Bibi Haba say law should be, and I remember, was it 2000? And I'm Forestry Resources Management Act, and we called through and I was saying, "Never be and ye papa." So I'm not Dr. Kobleji, and I be majority leader. I be replaced with a champion. But the summer was Attorney General, and they could translate and they go through. Me propose amendments be brave. Into amendments now. Be brave. How am I fire? Be also a man fire. But the summer only can say. When on pay defeated, it was a massa. I didn't know. Memfa. Muma by ban wabe. Was in the unlikely event is a by ban. So at least, or far be brave. Who said no. That was also a way of encouraging me. So I don't know how you know. Say you're on the right track. You may not get everything correct.
Okay.
At the very beginning. So I don't know boy me man.
Mate, WONTUMI TV so Eddie Utie live on WONTUMI Radio 101.3. We also streaming live on Facebook and WONTUMI TV on Facebook and WONTUMI TV on YouTube. And opening Chichen Komo, he really needs no introduction. Honorable Osei Kyeremanteng Bonsu. and Ofiado and area. Now, Matna Parliament, hold my chair, broaden discussion, but a year honorable or say chambers is a manner, a set yes celebrated. By the close of December, era January, ye who honorable or say chambers abusum, ewo brashe bigafie, beyond the debut, ewo eti or you be a say you're celebrating it even on this platform and said why exiting Parliament. Honorable with Parliament, maybe some 2 questions, Penafe. Me close to docket they are broaden discussion. But why maybe sir being put in the bluntly, one call for the air said a year brashe bigafie the Juma now will bono hono. Wo honorable Kwesi Kwatin and attach here. And we understand Kwaku Kwatin and attach here. You're pushable out of a year, we say you push you out. Now, Kofobi, we are so strict, so principled, they can't have their way into the Mupiao. Kwaku Kwatin, same, you say, you may be or the nice former. Want to me in your way until you say you know free.
You want to me radio.
Sounds so unattached, so Yabunidi. But when it's from your own. Yabuachi Chow, Eugene Buachi entry last week, then maybe Chiano, maybe the unknown can't just say so pained, so free hodom no say, you know, will be a shank of form. What is answer BDP? How true a statement NPP for parliamentarians to be a sedunti and a calculated a year PMF flow. Na empono ye to a barrier omo be pese ye be to aba a ye majority leader. Na omo peso be a bebo remna wababi majority leader at the amount. How's this kind of way? They've said it openly. Will him say be what to be your reaction?
I have no reaction.
It is allowed. It is allowed. Honorable Alban Bagwe.
As to the last one on the buy, I say, I'm say to a baby party no MPs na be you. Some catcher was a understanding of this no can. I shall see them say, then you say, you see, now me to avoid such collision. I say, yes, na meetings be akoso na MPs so ehurejina about 87 of the MPs and I'm sign krata say James Abuzuna chinchina mo. That is those of them who are available. And I'm chochum. There were some others na omuni ho a omote asem kwa no so frame me. But e could do baby no. Na me pese e bom din e de shemra. Na say bom din di tumregu. And ma hwe ya na me hu say I say tidy biba our here nanka coalition biba party in parliament. It was to avoid that. And your core meeting because there be me who problem ever. Because I didn't want to be the eye of the storm. Let the party take its own decision.
But here, what for Alban Babin? Is he becoming too autocratic? The Dadabu call Brashebi Jeffy, Yahoo speaker, one after the other. But you see our hang parliament. Before said there be the man is becoming respectfully becoming unbecoming. Said yeah, be a canon. What for no? Also for my friend. Sada Hunana, obey a speaker, the Juma won't say.
Oh, you can be castle. There's a hang parliament. There's no hang parliament in Ghana. There's no hang parliament in Ghana. I'm going to say, people who make the statement, you know, I'm going to take parliamentary practices. So, I said there's a hang parliament. It means that in Ipa Ohono, right down the middle. So, a year, numbers in your pay. That is the caucuses numbers in your pay. And you can say there's a hang parliament. They say there's no hang parliament in Ghana because one caucus, 138, another caucus, 137.
But anyone, there was a back and forth. It was hard yet.
I stood my grounds and said there's no hang parliament. One can make as part of the record. So one can say there's a hang parliament. One take parliamentary practice. I say, slim, 1+1 majority in the caucus. It's a very slim majority in the caucus. Makachre will say rules and say majority leader will be the party or parties occupying the majority of seats in parliament, and a formal caucus. And the leader of the majority, the person chosen by the party or parties in the caucus, a formal majority. And yes, you have a slim majority of +1, but that majority is still a majority. Penalty will be HS7 or HS6 or winning. It's a slim majority. The other side, because I'm winning parliamentary practice, and they say, where there is a hung parliament, you can't have a majority leader for 4 years.
Oh, okay. You can't have a majority leader.
You can't be a majority leader for 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Because you rotate. So, we're a majority leader.
All right.
1 year. It's a term of office of the parliament 4 years. Because we go 2 years, maybe 2 years. And as every year there's a majority, a new majority leader. Now, following year, now the minority, now be majority. Then the majority acquire minority. That is what obtains in hung parliaments. It's only in parliamentary practice. That's what Trump there's a hung parliament.
Oh, okay.
That is why I explained to them. Say, Asma Mokano, we'll be now and be please look for the definition of hung parliament. What you say? That is what.
Thanks for education.
My main can be Oka Alban Nassim. The mechanic say, well, a strong-willed character. So, back being decided on Bibiano Patuja. So, sometimes he guesses wrong. Libya. Officer prompt as a massa, you are wronger. Yeah, on fun easy. So but Jatumu. So that's that meaning who said that is his problem. As to whether I say no any dictator there, I don't want to go into that.
Okay.
But sometimes a money mistakes be affected. Yenina. Ebini say I won't say emuhono obi a petition be by against Grophobia, some member parliament, Parliamentary committee. Yeah. Reform conduct to privileges committee. Privileges committee, Omuna, I walk and say, Omo will be conduct more. Omo is sitting yes, say, Nipa we, a Juma way, and so any to be a facade disciplinary procedure. Omo determine that is it. The speaker's attitude was there be privileges committee, a committee of parliament. And some could decide or Muntimi decide my aim. Yes, I would must have never plenary me 2 months. What you say? Yeah. I disagreed with him. The catch say constitution no Nkansah. Constitution is a privileges committee, they decided. They say, oh, say, if any say, I was say more conduct, Omudi report on Yensan Famra, I disagree. And I'm quoting constitution straight now. One Timothy. And the assembly, there was Supreme Court too. Number 2. Okay, I say, Obeka say, deputy speakers. I'm on to Abba.
Yeah.
Menina, make a summon in Nantissa. You see, where in the constitution, the constitution can speak a wasem. Now, all you should the definite article, the speaker. So, speaker, no, a speaker, you're two about man from at the very outset, obey a speaker. Ye speaker, no, on ye member of parliament. Into one to about. In the constitution, say the speaker no one to about. Deputy speakers, they are members of parliament who represent constituencies. And if you see baby speakers and members of parliament, but the speaker no disagreed with me. I don't know man talk about ye man this for no fro akonya na sia man eti some kohwa na sia konya. The speaker can yenti. Oni ho no. O se usu kotra akɔdwene mu no say use ka so as much speaker kan ne ono so ne nya adwen speaker fi akwantu mu bae no be ka say they say use aye no it amounts to insubordination asem ko Supreme Court the Supreme Court abu say asem na me kan ne right the speaker was wrong and insubordination no because one and why insubordinate to the constitution
okay
what you say and the kwano was it necessary says and the kwano buy but it wasn't necessary and tiaho nothing
but on way no e mention point lest I forget Dr. Kwaku free year there no
LGBT assembly LGBT me sabi me asantini me or the customs and traditions of Ashanti sans and sem no I will never support. So what you say bema no bema koda oba no I will never. And I cannot imagine say me ma wo mu no metisi obi yebi. I cannot imagine that. What you say? Ma sorry am konso etia. Bible am me kan no etia sa ni man. I will never submit to that. But you see Parliament na yemra. Be kaya and sort of be led by some judge. A co-speaker ho say ko file BTS. Then no more the speaker just say, oh, this law Parliament is going to pass it. I was a majority leader then. They buy a Mr. Speaker. Oh yeah, from so. Parliament is going to pass it. Are you Parliament? I'll make sure say it will be passed by Parliament this time. Also, when you Parliament, you won't mean committee Parliament, sir. That's what I say. And me buy a number betty and make one was a speaker. Oh yeah, from so. Why? Because I don't ever know. A saber by MPs being a fast and never. So, what is called a private member's bill. Now, constitution no, it can be. Say, oh yeah, maybe. No, so we implement him now. Every more of first if you're mindful to they implement him rano. Some rano, Parliament as an institution, intimate farmer. And I say individual members of Parliament, intimate farmer. Yes, if he are buying a catch, that is executive in a catch. Oh, and that provision exists in Article 106 of the Constitution. Article 106, no, I can say, Article 108. I can say, Parliament shall not, unless the bill is introduced or the motion is introduced by or on behalf of the President, proceed upon a bill, including an amendment to a bill, that, in the opinion of the person presiding, makes provision for any of the following. The relevant the imposition of a charge on the consolidated fund or other public funds of Ghana, or the alteration of any such charge otherwise done by a reduction. And they say, who co implement it? Let's say, Baby, if you're mindful to more, Untimi Samran, Intimi Fee, MP or Intimi Parliament. LGBT, Emrano. So, say, what the Ashemu say, so be Fumra, because yes, I didn't know, near Chinua, and Van Quefias. You be Quefias, when if you know.
That is on the console, yeah.
You first can from the consolidated fund. In Kenya, I was in zone, no, abandoned now, or my Ediani, a demon, no, you see, I would carry or mine on a bohoka, or Yari money. Yeah. And young, the implementation of it, no, I could fast my bar. Until then, I told him, saying, Tino, Unim, even though me imprints as the answer. You need a buy no can I buy them a sort and bring them by a family. A BSc paying. You will be a friend of Children's Act. Children's Act, you know, 2000. As I said, Obeda Samoa was the Attorney General. Now, maybe gender activists being a cofa as a buy. Mkofa, Omni Parliamentary Committee on Youth and Culture, ABCI, I was part of it. And you could share meetings in the Imprensa. I'm a constitutional committee, could share. So, constitutional committee at that time, back being your speaker, and a chairman of the Legal and Constitutional Committee. And then I'm going to catch up with Samoa, no better Samoa, so constitution, we ain't mean free parliament. And I agree with the principle. And I Samoa Sumu, not to come out or no one they call the department, Attorney General's department. I hear no can see no on the bill by any way in money. And on account of the who be paying Tino. Kayana, sir. And I mean, you're an ampenia or Kofaya, Dena. They say, Akoka court, no. I court in it was. What you say? As far as I'm concerned, everybody knows. He say, Sasemno, Sambrano, every parliament. And why do you do that? And Ray, near Yemrebi. A Citizenship Act, okay. Article 8. And now, be a day and run by say yenye private member. And Cratchy be America, a friend Azan or a lawyer.
Yeah.
Because or this a man by say one on yenye. Because I know it will be caught by this. Sadi we, even ye. The other name from common executive. Again, a coin Anna, speaker Sumu, Senjana Yenye. Oh, you drive Parliament into a cul-de-sac. And to say, Koba, that's a Windsor Corner Supreme Court Bugua, Bendy. Would it then mean, say, Speaker, no, Unim Diana? I would say for the Speaker of Parliament, he's a long standing lawyer.
Yeah.
I watch a Parliament. So, I make us say, well, a strong word. And sometimes persuading him out of being a reservoir and anything. As to whether that amounts to, it's another matter. To me, Crampono, Dana, near Yem or more Yem Brand, change I say, apart from Article 118, there's something else. So, a constitutional amendment. Any entrenched about Parliament. You require that bill to be supported by 2/3 of members of Parliament.
Oh, okay.
And yes, sir, was it to be supported? The any one, Uchemu 275, Uchemu, was it 2/3 a support? What I say? Was it 2/3 support? Now, you know, them was that near 90. And on the face of the constitutional provision, say, so yeah, a amendment now. We hear 2/3. Also, maybe I'm a tiano. Who said the baby, a banomoko, as one can go be him say,
on banomoko.
As well can know what him say, and you're a cresser. And so I didn't want to challenge him, or kind of so okay. Maybe I owe a third eye. So what I say, because, or say, or say, amendment to non-entrenched provisions. Or say a bill to amend the provision of this constitution, which is not an entrenched provision, shall not be introduced in Parliament unless it has been published twice and so on and so on. And or say where Parliament approves the bill, it may only be presented to the President for his assent if it was approved at the second and third reading of it in Parliament by the votes of at least 2/3 of all the members of Parliament. Anybody 90? What do you say?
And yet 2/3, baby.
Yeah, 2/3, baby. Just anybody 90 and what them ho, but 90 and what them ho. Be on say, Constitution say it must be supported by at least 2/3. What I say? And it was something else. But then I make a inti. I went to have an engineering. So of course. Yami can you just be trouble.
We are yes, so trouble. But and I may end the way. No, baby, sir. Kwaku was that the need for the majority to apologize? Because Kwaku Suhunu saying can this will apologize for a year seminar or Kaya or Mama Shano, ebe no piabo. Just before and Ansana Bakun Sunan say a fair mark and press conference be said a kind of fast one. Nkansah sorry Parliament no enyane kwan so no wa leaders na nko mo asem area no ane say wa bo mo asori a obunim dakra na omo ebeba I don't know ho ensem to say.
Oh, the last one first. Parliament late July any usually actually first week in July and you may muso you may muso because Parliament of Ghana no any American parliaments ya fa yon kofa bi and kofa no ye say ebredi American group bi ba Ghana samre na me ye whip na amabudu ajaho anso ye whip
okay
ema minority the president for time no
okay
no me fa my koma ekoye presentation bi about parliamentary practice na me say so money and no case mo invite ye to America ema yakosua eneme bi ye be kono Peter Lajete was the speaker and no case o na mo makoye zade na dia ni munyama ba na say yes mo nkwa mo pese mo nkwa moko and me speaker me so pese me ko bi and you catch up no so they can accommodate the speaker. The speaker too quiet. He usually goes with the majority and minority leaders. And then it got expanded. The speaker, the majority leader, minority leader, plus the two chief whips and the beko. Parliamentary practice. The clerk of parliament so was also a part of it. And we started this at the time. And ama afibia mo ye sanhye mu no we sanhye mu no they invite 5 African countries Ghana ka ho and ye call sanhye mu no am for no National Conference of State Legislatures parliaments that was states ni nyina no and ye sanhye mu kese no ma frɛ Ghana, they invite South Africa, they invite Gambia, they invite Gambia, they invite Ghana, they invite Nigeria, they invite Uganda, they invite South Africa, and they Egypt. 5 countries in invite here. Now, a man as soon as he speaker no call, leaders no call, clerk air call, intino, let's just say ya breaky parliament. Say BB a din wo ho dia ebia speaker no because okay, and ebia media meko until me chira my deputy speaker until now I think they were expecting say speaker no by side arrangement na I was say woko until say woko a dia I was say nka bia oje na chima deputy speakers ne baako maybe I was signing rule because bills be na ye agreement be and bills be na ye until in temping no the agreement no World Bank na my facility e dia boy in samra na sika no yes nke be boy be stabilize you know so na pass because yapon na e dangerous kakra because they were going to give us I think about 250 million or so dollars na be boy forest problems in yakobe boy and you are rejecting that at the expense of the economy, which was not the best. But as I'm saying now also the near Bresse was sure more boss over. So, in fact, say in the crown, no more inviting me, even though I'm no longer the majority leader. And no my year from 7 year weapon, name where busy Nintino. Almost say, my family, the point person for African countries, Nina. They invited me in a special way as a point person for the African countries. And they call boxer Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
The Krum, Louisville, and a feed, you know. Don't invite me. I'm a program here, I'm a US. Let me say, okay, the men for me send a minister become baby. And I say, or the one stone, a cum, 2 bears. Also, the 1 bed, a cum, 2 stones. Okay, I don't care.
I don't hear any refi.
And I'm so.
And I busy was
no, call bridge. And I'm for business. And no call conference now. What it's a it was so. Yeah, conference now. No call.
And the prep one bed.
And I won't also control the queen. And you decided say, what the 1 bed become 2 stones. That's what happened.
Okay.
I'm say the majority leader not secure the signatures there until every moment a recall. But of course recall no we are expensive. Say MPs in the bar. also say to the case ze obi akọ constituency ko campaign
now samba be friend
abe na manaba o ba no ko no so tua ne case ka ni na aye say ya ke omudi be 2-3 days kan ho a committee wie sa ne me ni nyina what you say that's a me no some more can be still crambo na I wouldn't have gone.
Okay.
So I wouldn't have gone. Can be trans ye ansana ibia ya shako.
Mate honorable Bedasif with a parliamentary questions actually yadwini I think say wabuama to a larger extent yatiasie. Now me address the chairman of the NPP manifesto committee. Yami aduma weekend yedi echre takrade in the western region. Hold the NPP Kwaku launch the manifesto. Honorable, why the western region? Other than NPP, choose western region.
Oh, say party no, homa all people in the country. Your homa all regions. The you no, ya near Chichim, and the Biko had the Biko had the Biko. Send be a baby, I was being say he belongs to the party. Every moon na and cherry pea, or you be Cape Coast. You be guitar cry. Ashanti, dear, running meet recently. You didn't bet you didn't Ashanti. So it was thought, say, any yempe, baby, I call ya check a cry. What's the reason you call watch it? Yako north maybe ana a honso na ye appealing and ye consider na ye sunyane any western region say any of them ye call watch. Do you know any of them beat me? In fact it then came out say ye call western region answer ye basunyane until then yako sunyane in cherry piece. I think we went to sunyane in 2016. That's about 8 years ago. And then it was considered saying in that case, yeah, in Fanko Western region. Until the Western region.
Okay. Now, may share, well, honorable, let us in about Nkansah, what are we to expect? If I manifesto you, answer the copy. Will you let us in and young could do honor your experience? Maybe
oh, what is it? You no. Now, so say, I've been no home consequences. Yeah, we cook a crowd already. And what we try to do, and they say, nipa party but nipa baako titiri pa presidential candidate na ni so ade hunu say the man manwa akwan person obefa so de akyekere oman no any manifesto no it is his social contract with the people of this country anya me ni so ade hunu me de me boa no say na ni so ade hunu bituma chi ni yi. If you listen to Dr. Baumia, University of Professional Studies, you know speeches are maybe brave. It is sad speeches. Yeah, constitution. Yeah, constitution. Beginning from Article 34. It cover the directive principle of state policy. Chapter 6 of the Constitution. It's saying the overall development agenda of this country. The directive principle. And you know, or my so-called directive principles of state policy or political objectives. Say in politics, and they grow or minor. Then it talks about economic objectives. Say, I can't say no say for so. The developing economy. No. It is a constitution, and they can say, we should afford ample opportunity for individual initiative and creativity in economic activities and fostering an enabling environment for a pronounced role of the private sector in the economy. The Constitution says private enterprise in leading economic growth. What does it mean? It won't mean so you are buying. Now make us say and then the state enterprises in one private enterprise money BBR like socialist communist countries in the end. You can't do that. Constitution in Malquansa or call educational objectives or can say acquiring for so and ye. For instance, Article 25 say free senior high free education, free compulsory basic education. Over Article 30, is it 37 or so, when they talk about educational objectives now, I hope a more timelines. What I say? And the mention is a directive principle of state policy. No, what they are also back home. Then you look at the international treaties, like NA, SDGs, Africa Union Council protocols be a DNS. So, and now, what can you now boom? Our man, the presidential candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I may cannot be no pay. Say, as an individual, no, he himself represents a microcosm of the Ghanaian society. Why? Because, no, ne papa, okodi baby, Alaji Mumuni Bawumia. But according to him, no, it will be no brand new wedding. It was in the Oko school. Now, I was say Oko fum, Okoye farmhand. I feel no Okoji by day cry. What I feel. We school Okwa Bruchri. I was going I was a factory hand. And the bra and if Fana Ghana for a form of Bruchri, he knows. You baby a taxi driver wa Bruchri. And we chin on any more university or score high marks. The fan say on your assistant lecturer. But I feel you be a fully fledged lecturer. I'll share a day university. I teach you. And what you buy, no, buy Ghana be a technocrat, be a Bank of Ghana, rose to become the deputy governor of the bank. And Sana to say about into politics. Until no, in a lifetime, no, when you experience through life from the very lowly level, Abasoro. So, but then you need to one day a Kufado for 16 years. Obey the running mate since 2008. Watching your move, baby. Near Kwafu, one a bridge of Asia, one a friend saying drivers Asia, one businessmen, one market women, one lawyers, one judges, one doctors, one will be Asia. One judges Asia, one MPs, one police for soldier for one will be Asia, and you will be soon in the house. What I say? But in spite of that, now. Or say, me, say I'm a vice president, I'm a Jubilee. I say, Ghanaian society knows we are very fluid. And say the Frank Anashamansa. But some say, see from Bunamico tea, or more minimum than that. Say, how no woman to say, and I said, Nibia Beckham, and I say, be a few hours before Beckham. I mean, tea woman. That's why he stepped out. And to a buy, you know, and now a power say manifesto committee, no. Some say, Namidinichi. One organized labor Asia. One doctors Asia. One lawyer for Asia. One judges Asia. One businessmen Asia. One companies Asia. Pia the Asmabeka is 82 no mature. If we are, and you may not can say, okay, say me can say the way we can address we know that issue we bit my address with the mem. How do you do it? Okay, anyway, a new item and be fancy. That's what we did. The canina boom, and the good and krataswa. When we finished, it's not in my honor say, oh, yeah, because this is his vision.
Yeah, okay.
And he wants to say, and one, and the demand. Not me and saying, and no creamy was that is stream to or no.
Oh, okay.
No, you're quite me. Indeed, last week, and I feel you're quite. Danwa, a year, presentation of equipment. Presentation.
Oh, for a 2,240 trial.
A year jubilee.
Yeah.
Independence.
Accra, yeah.
Sadano. Then have a year final. Yeah, the amount of my indications be. So we went and sat down. Yeah, obi whom you have, but who say President Bachachi, we are because you are not free. But who were waiting at a location, and I'm calling the transfer him. Yeah,